Mr. Venkatraman SV, Deputy Director Dr. Narayani Ramachandran, and Dr. Ashish Daptardar, Additional Registrar to the Graduation Ceremony 2023 of the Bengaluru campus.
We also welcome the faculty, the students, the parents, and the NMIMS staff for this ceremony. I now request our security officer, Mr. Srinivas, to give the security briefing of the auditorium.
Good morning, everyone. I am Srinivas, Security Officer, NMIMS Bengaluru. I am here to guide you on the security measures of Auditorium NMIMS Bengaluru. We have two gates to enter and exit from auditorium. Once you exit, there are one exit on the left-hand side and three exits towards right side. Please do not panic, stay calm, and follow instructions. There are QRT members en route to guide you up to safe assembly area. Thank you.
May I request the dignitaries on the dais to come forward to light the ceremonial lamp. May I request Mr. Srinivas Murthy for the invocation song. Let us all rise for the invocation song and the NMIMS anthem.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Ya Kundentu Sharahara Davala Ya Shubhravastavruta Ya Veena Varadanda Manditakara Ya Shveta Padmasana Ya Brahmachyuta Shankara Prabrutibhi Devai Sada Vandita Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jadyapaha Nishesha Jadyapaha.
Do what's right and not what's easy.
Thank you, everyone. Please remain seated. I would now like to invite Dr. Ashish Taptardar, Additional Registrar, to initiate the graduation ceremony proceedings.
Good morning, everyone. I request Shri Shailesh Patel, nominee of Honorable Chancellor, NMIMS University, and Chairman of Local Managing Committee of NMIMS Bengaluru, to declare graduation ceremony 2023 of Bengaluru campus open.
I declare the graduation ceremony 2023 of NMIMS Bengaluru campus open. Thank you.
I would now like to request Shri Shailesh Patel, nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, to formally welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Venkatraman SV, with a bouquet and a memento.
I now request Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Ramesh Bhatt to deliver the welcome address.
Chief guest of the day, Mr. S.V. Venkatraman, Managing Director of ANZ, Australia and New Zealand Group of Banking. Well, it is indeed my great pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Venkatraman. He's IIM Ahmedabad alumni of 1987-89 batch, and was very popularly known as Vanky in the group when I was also the faculty member in that year. Well, my hearty welcome to the NMIMS Bengaluru campus. Shri Shailesh Patel ji, nominee of Honorable Chancellor, I welcome you also to celebrate the success of the graduating batch, sir. Dr. Narayani Ramachandran, Dr. Ashish Taptardar, honorable members of the Board of Management, distinguished faculty and staff members, graduating students, proud parents and relatives of graduating students, and also all those who are watching the live streaming of this function. Well, very good morning to all of you, and I welcome everyone to the graduation ceremony of SBM Bengaluru campus class of 2023. Big applause for your grand achievement. Well, my heartfelt congratulations to all the students who are graduating today. It is said that every end is but a new beginning, and today marks a significant milestone in your life and the culmination of years of your hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Well, this time, after graduating from the program, it also signals the start of a fresh and exciting chapter filled with infinite possibilities and boundless opportunities. Of course, the future is unknown and unknowable, but I'm sure that you will find it filled with limitless potential and opportunities. The accomplishment today marks a successful and proud entry into your future endeavors. I'm sure you will have incredible opportunities that will undoubtedly shape your future. So you must celebrate this momentous occasion with enthusiasm and optimism and embark on this new journey with courage and grace. As you embark on your journey, I extend my best wishes to all of you, hoping that each one of you finds a feeling of contentment and pride in everything you do. I am sure your great efforts and achievements will help you achieve great things in life. Your credentials will take you to much higher places, and you will prove yourself and contribute to making the world a better place. Convocation time is also a time to reflect on the journey that has brought you to this stage. 2 years back, you decided to join this extraordinary institution to explore and enrich yourself. At that time of your joining in 2021, and to be precise which month, it is June 2021, we were still in the pandemic stage at that time. I vividly remember you were joining the program virtually through the WebEx platform and Zoom platform and starting your online orientation. And for several days and months, it followed, and you kept on hearing a greeting message every day when your session started, "Am I audible?" I know that most of you faced unique challenges along the way, but you have all persevered. Your resilience and determination have made a marked difference in your life to take your journey to this very moment. We are glad that we are having your convocation in person. And this is a proud moment for all of us. Your graduating today is victory in many senses to all of you, coming out of catastrophe, consistently learning and growing. Today you graduate from this university as an enriched person with outstanding achievements. Well, you graduate someone having gone through a rigorous curriculum and after testing yourself. During your learning journey, you engrossed yourself in exploring the process of decision making, understanding the context, imbibing contemporary thinking and advanced technology, and learning from the past, envisioning the future, and redefining and putting forward your value-creating responses. Your training in critical thinking will help you to contemplate on multiple diverse planes. This is a skill, and your ability to juggle between opposite thinking processes, which gives you an edge in delivering socially relevant solutions. Your inclusive approach and your commitment characterizes NMIMS University. Your training has also helped you to imbibe evolved communication strategy, which focused on visual, oral, written, graphical, akin to something metaverse, to translate your ideas into reality. You have all the skills to develop unique syntax and the language not only to communicate your ideas to others, but also to ideate and develop new concepts and effective solutions. Well, you graduate someone who understands the importance of collaborative processes and working with empathy. Your parents must be delighted today, and NMIMS University gratefully acknowledges their contribution to making it possible for you to reach to this stage. As you look forward the future, it is important to remember the lessons we have learned and the experiences that have shaped us. These experiences will guide you as you navigate the path ahead with all of its twists and turns. Always remember that wherever you go and whatever you do, your actions will be like your fingerprints, proof of where you have been and what you have touched. SBM has added value not only to your learning journey, but it also has added to the footprints of the university. And I must say that you are going out in the world with excellent NMIMS credentials. So let us celebrate this moment together and take the first steps forward, the future, with courage, determination, and commitment to excellence. Well, the initial phase of your graduation started during the pandemic, as I mentioned. The experience turned out to be quite unprecedented for all of us. The pandemic required us to confront challenges on so many dimensions. NMIMS, like all institutions across the globe, confronted with this unusual, extraordinary situation. The pandemic required us to teach, learn, and work remotely. And I always tell my students that we all experience the real VUCA word. I hope you know what the VUCA stands for. Volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And this is the word which was invented in 1980s. And perhaps if it was not invented, then it would have been invented now. Well, we interacted with most of you through our synchronous and asynchronous virtual learning approaches, and we always remain conscious of making the learning process highly engaging and effective. Your first 2 trimesters, term 1 and term 2, and also I think the half of the term 3 was entirely in virtual mode, mostly on the Zoom platform. We conducted your end-term examination for term 1 and term 2 through the student portal. And post-midterm in term 3 in 2022, things improved, and we moved to in-person classes with some sessions in hybrid mode. Your summer placements were also completed in virtual mode. Despite all these odds, your batch has been able to achieve the highest average salary so far in the history of the Bengaluru campus SBM. And second fastest placement of the students in the companies wherever they have joined. And record pre-placement offers of around 20%. And with 25 Fortune 500 companies coming on campus and recruiting from the batch. So this is really the point which I was mentioning, that we face a lot of odds, but we have done remarkably well. And without losing any time, I think we made it sure that the university rose to this challenge of, it was kind of a highly disruptive situation. And everyone in the university, faculty, staff, rose to a critical leadership position, and I'm proud that we all worked together, supported each other, and wherever needed, engaged in problem solving and coming up with innovative solutions to deal with the challenges effectively. And I believe we have many reasons to have enormous pride in how we handled the challenges and this change. Most of our technological innovations and several initiatives towards digital transformation at the university happened during the first year of your joining the NMIMS. Your online exams and ensuring that there is no disruption in your promotions, going to the higher classes, ensuring the assignments, examinations are submitted in a safe manner for evaluation, despite the challenges of varied experiences of internet, broadband, and Wi-Fi. And the school significantly moved on the digitization of the assurance of learning systems and using and formally starting the placement process through the placement digital platform. I think all these helped us to take the best advantage of the digitization process and bring a lot of efficiency in our operations. Well, all these innovative approaches we could implement because of your active engagement involvement. It would not have been possible to implement these things without your support. Well, I thank for wholeheartedly supporting what we during that period put together as what we call the academic continuity plan, which was one very important strategy at the university under the leadership of our Honorable Chancellor Shri Amrish Bhai Patel and our mentors at the campus Shri Shailesh Bhai, and we put this academic continuity plan in place. Through a distributed leadership approach, we implemented the directions very effectively. The support received from everyone, students, faculty, staff, and all the university departments, and our determination and resolve demonstrated our resilience and leading from the front. And I must acknowledge the tremendous support you and your parents provided to the university in these difficult times, and we remain grateful for your support. Well, I will just narrate some of the key learnings which we have out of this disruption. And we learned in the process that disruption and change are nothing but becoming different. Your learning experience while at the NMIMS must have altered your perceptions about the world and yourself. Your learning will continue to be the lens through which you will see the world and handle the change with resilience. Today, when I am standing here and celebrating your success, I will express some vital lessons which we learned during this process, and I hope that these lessons will be helpful to you in your future endeavors. Well, my first lesson and our first lesson as a university was that it is very important that in the situation when there is a disruption happening, we need to understand the context and really decode the disruption properly. The way we understand the context now, actually, after this experience, has never been the same as before. I am reminded of a very powerful clip on the YouTube, which you can watch at some time, by Professor Somantra Ghoshal, who was one of the renowned management guru, talking about the context in the organizations. And he has titled that small discussion what he calls as the smell of the place. Well, according to him, the smell of the place refers to the organizational context in which we operate. We realize that it is crucial to comprehend this context when faced with severe disruption. And historically, the literature on understanding the context focuses on 4 dimensions of what they call examining constraints, compliances, control, and contracts to understand what is the context of the situation. Well, he felt that the traditional way of looking at the context in terms of constraints, compliances, control, and contracts in a disruption situation will hurt the creativity in the organization. And it will result in some cumbersome systems which will not allow you to take the actions to handle the disruption. It will damage the collegial functioning in the organization. And it will create limiting contract-based relationships. And when you watch this clip, he provides some great insights into how you need to look at these 4 C's differently, particularly when you are faced by the disruption. So he suggests that to foster an environment that encourages desirable behavior, particularly when we are facing disruption, one should create a set of values which are based on 4 things. Number 1, focus on stretch instead of constraints. So start looking at not the constraints as constraints, but start looking at the value of stretch. Don't focus too much on the compliances, but make it as a part of your discipline. Make sure that you focus on support rather than control. And focus on trust rather than the contract-based relationships. See, when we were grappling this disruption situation, this framework really helped us to articulate some of our working, some of our decisions, some of our steps which we took in the organization, because of which the continuity of your program was possible. Otherwise, I know that in India there have been many universities where there is still the disruption and the students have not progressed to new classes, forget about their placements and getting the jobs. Because everybody in this system started looking at the stretch, and I know that many faculty colleagues, when the lockdown was announced, at that time the academic year was about to come to close, and all the examination papers were lying in their rooms, and we had announced the close down, and everything was shut. And we knew that how to make sure that we get these papers to their homes. Not only these papers, but their office computers to their homes. It is not possible to do this kind of a thing, particularly in university which is having 28,000 students, 1,000 faculty members, and spread across 10 states. So, looking at this, if we had looked at these constraints, perhaps we would not have been celebrating this convocation today. We looked at these not as the constraints, but as the stretch, and everybody is stretched in the organization. So I myself and my leadership team and all the academic leaders in the university found this framework very, very powerful in terms of articulating our initiatives and decisions. I hope that when you go back, I think start examining the constraints, compliances, contracts, framework with a new prism of stretch, discipline, support, and trust. And you may find some value in adopting these values, and which will be helpful to you in future. The second lesson which I would like to narrate is the teamwork and imbibing the concept of I am because we are. See, one thing which helped us to ensure we come out of this crisis with least unintended consequences is the distributed leadership and the teamwork approach. In this kind of a situation, it was not possible for the Vice Chancellor or the Director of the campus to do anything unless everybody comes together and tries to solve the problem. And that is where the responsibilities were distributed, and distributed leadership model in fact evolved. And we must remember that when we face this disruption situation, we are not alone in that. In fact, COVID crisis would have brought this concept of interconnectedness and camaraderie to the very forefront of your thinking process. And the key is that how we really solve the problems together, how do we learn from each other, and how we grow together. I will encourage you to watch a documentary titled Playbook, A Coach's Rule for Life, recently put up on the Netflix. Particularly the season 1 of that documentary is about a Doc Rivers, a basketball player turned coach, and how he used this metaphor of I am because we are to bring a losing team to the winning kind of an situation, and they won the highest tournament in the US history. And how he used this teamwork and the distributed leadership model to create excellence and promote knowledge. And it is not just the way of life, but the essence of being human, particularly when you are facing this kind of a disruption. We must always remember that our existence is centered on the idea of interconnectedness. And we must treat others with respect, compassion, empathy, and fostering a culture of inclusion and humility. This second learning really helped us, and now the kind of literature which is coming out, how the organizations and how the individuals handled the disruption situation, and it is proving many of our good initiatives and good approaches which we adopted during this point, and because of which we ensured the continuity of our academic plans. And you are associated with the university, and you should be proud of that fact today. Because I am saying this not just because I want to say something about the NIMMS, but because I see what is happening across the universities, across the schools in India, and perhaps you are in the top 5% of the students who have not been hurt by this disruption in any significant manner, particularly when your career progression, your progression to the higher classes is concerned. 95% of the students all over India during this pandemic has got seriously hurt. And it has been possible because we have worked as the team, and your support actually, your parents' support has been phenomenal. Well, the third lesson which I would like to mention to you, as I was saying that we experience the VUCA word, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous word. But I also encountered the situation of not external VUCA, but inner VUCA. Because during the pandemic, I kept on getting phone calls from the students, parents, and everybody telling me that what are the kind of difficult situations they are going through. So every time I was talking to them, and every time we had the counseling sessions on the Zoom or WebEx, I came out with the 4 positive attitude tests. And I'm just going to mention to you what I have been talking to them and what I have been speaking to them. Well, to deal with volatility, which is the first word in the VUCA, to deal with the volatility, it is very important that you develop an attitude of responding and not reacting. Many times we make this mistake of reacting. And I hope that as a management student, you know the difference between reacting and responding. Response happens with very calculated judgment, looking at all the possible information, all the possible options, and not reacting. The second term in this VUCA word is the uncertainty, which is you, we, you. Now, handling the uncertainty, make sure you are not allowing your fears to avoid taking risks. And to handle the complexity, ensure you are able to see and perceive with clarity. Particularly your education on critical thinking and problem solving, and your approach, which perhaps you would have developed during the 2 years of education, to see something and everything in a very interconnected manner. and identifying the critical variables which will affect that particular situation. I think if you follow that approach, it will help you to handle the complexity dimension of the VUCA. And last is the ambiguity, and make sure you spend some time on contemplation and meditation to quiet your mind enough to make meaning to handle the ambiguity. I think last 3 years, the amount of research and literature which has come out on the meditation, contemplation, and mindfulness kind of an approaches has been phenomenal, which has helped many people to handle the kind of an ambiguity situations. Well, I encourage you to put your knowledge and skills through these all positive attitude tests. I call these 4 attitude tests. If you develop these attitudes, 4 attitude tests, they will become your superpower to take you forward. Many times, I think when I am talking to you, though I hate advising many times, but I thought that this was important because we have lived with this situation. And I have interacted with several students, several parents who have been in great difficulty. I have interacted with the students from other universities, other colleges, who have faced terrible, terrible situations, right? So develop these 4 positive attitude tests to handle this, particularly the inner VUCA, that you will face the VUCA in your organizations and organizations face VUCA, but at your inner VUCA, I think there is something these positive tests will help you. And my last lesson, which I think I learned personally, is about the harnessing the technology. As you embark on your professional journey, I would like to emphasize the importance of creating a focus on technology. The world is rapidly changing and technology is at the forefront of this transformation. It is shaping the way we live, work, and interact with each other. The advancements in technology have led to the disruption of existing businesses and creation of new industries. You are joining the industry at a time when some significant changes are unfolding. The application of AI has unleashed a series of disruptive changes, which is the next phase of disruption which we are going to see. Several initiatives started in these areas over the years are coming to fruitification. We are seeing now how the pilots and how the experiments have coming to the fruitification of those projects. A significant change is unfolding before our eyes, and we are also stepping into the new opportunities created by the AI, ChatGPT-4, and 5G. And in these times, we must always ensure that we remain relevant in this constantly changing global world where emerging technologies are going to govern our behaviors. As you know that scientists today are in the process of testing various levels of cognitive capabilities and intelligence of AI, particularly ChatGPT-4 kind of platforms. And these testing is happening using the concepts of vision, theory of mind, coding, mathematics, affordance, and privacy, harmfulness detection, etc. And among other things, when we look at these testings which is happening, they are able to establish with large amount of reasonable accuracy that these technologies can reason, can solve problems, can think abstractly, can comprehend complete ideas, can learn quickly, and can learn from experience. But one thing they still lack is that they cannot plan for future. They cannot connect the various variables in the dots. They cannot comprehend the complexity. That is where I think, in my view, that the AIs and will not be able to replace the human being when it comes to the connecting the various dots or looking at some comprehensive, complex problem and solving it, which requires perhaps several steps in advance to think. So there is a big opportunity for us to develop that skill. I think the rest of the things are going to be taken care by the artificial intelligence and the technologies which are developing. Now, as I was telling you that during the time when we faced the pandemic and when you joined, I think the first challenge for us was how to conduct the classes on the virtual platforms. Particularly in management courses where it is case-based, how do you do the case discussion on the Zoom, or how do you do the case discussion on the Teams? And I was recollecting that though the Zoom was in existence since 2010 or so, we came to know about Zoom only in 2020 when we were hit by the pandemic. And it was, I think, we were just given some 15 days to train ourselves to start the classes on the Zoom. And we met that challenge quite seriously. Not only that, all our digital transformation journey started from that time onwards. And there are 3 critical skills I would like to highlight as you are graduating now. Maybe you can think of this as the last class of your MBA class. 3 capabilities I think you need to focus. One is the tangible capabilities, which is that your ability to understand the data, internal, external, ability to maneuver through the data to understand processes. Second is the managerial capabilities, which means that you need to develop the analytical acumen, thinking in terms of the data, linking it with processes, and understanding interconnectedness. And third, which is very important, many times neglected in our skill set, is called the intangible capabilities, which is how do you harness the data-driven cultures within the organization? How do you make everybody in the organization understand that we have to take the decisions based on the data instead of intuitions or instead of hearsay? And how do these organizations learn? Not only learn how to be data sensitive, how to explore, store, share, and apply that knowledge of data to take the decisions. And our chief guest today, Mr. Venkatramanan, is, I think, one of the leading leaders in the industry who is engaged in large-scale transformation of businesses through automation and the process of execution using robotics, process automation, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, and their application in the banking and financial services, right? Of course, I met him after 35 years. Now it looks that we need to change now the roles. I have to make him my teacher, and I want to become his student to learn these machine learning techniques and artificial intelligence techniques and how the automation is getting progressed in the banking system. And I think I see him as the leader in this area who is managing the team of 10,000 people in India, primarily experimenting with the machine learning in the area of trade finance and many, many more initiatives, which I just very briefly learned this morning. I plan to spend a lot of time whenever I visit Bangalore with him to understand how this is done. Well, last few words. On this day, we fondly acknowledge achievement of our students and alumni and future aspirations with our graduating students. Always remember that NMIMS is a 4-decade-old premier university in India. Our Bengaluru campus was set up about 15 years back, and it has emerged as one of the most credible institutions of higher learning, as reflected by several rankings, ratings, stakeholder confidence, and reputation. And particularly, I think the initiatives which the campus implemented during the last 2 years without impacting the career progression of our students. I think the one thing which strikes out in India today on academic excellence is the making sure that none of your career progression got affected because of the disruption. And we are very proud of the teamwork which everybody has put in place. Well, our students have also made a mark by winning several awards at national and international levels. The school has put a lot of effort into strengthening industry partnerships, case competitions, seminars, and conferences at national and international levels. I congratulate all the teams and mentors who made these achievements possible. Our alum are highly sought after in national and international firms for their contemporary approach to defining problems and solving them with highly evolved tools and analysis and communication. We recognize their contribution and celebrate their achievements when we are also celebrating your graduation. Well, as a university and as a school, we continue to strive best. Our new path is to reinvent ourselves and invent new things. We are determined to pursue our goals, and our goals are based on the 4 building blocks, which is knowledge creation and enhancing teaching and learning through assurance of learning systems, making NMIMS recognized for its academic excellence and as the most preferred institution of learning, and aligning stakeholders and meeting their aspirations. While pursuing our strategy, we are conscious of the fact that the highest goals of management have transitioned from profit maximization principles to a mission of value creation with integrity and being ESG sensitive in the current times. Given the infinite variety of business situations that can be as varied as life itself, the purpose of management is to improve human life by creating values with integrity. The endeavors must be sensible, driving from the central idea of the nature, flowering into beautiful entity, and being ESG compliant. All along, whenever your roles transition from your current leadership positions, make sure ethical value creation is always your North Star to guide you. You also learned a lot the importance of the civic engagement during your program, and we know that there is a lot of wisdom, strength, and power in the community. Do not ever forget this lesson. Make it a mission of your life to find and build community wherever and whenever you can. Well, years from now, when you look back, I assure you that you will feel nothing but proud of your alma mater. We shall be welcoming you to become the proud alumni of the SBM today after you are conferred the degrees. Now, since the initial phase of your program was driven virtually through synchronous and asynchronous approaches, and having learning experience from remote, and attending online classes, well, I have one proposition for you to consider, that you may like to recreate some of this lost experience, at least some of it in future. How? You may consider visiting us at the campus as frequently as you can and enjoy the ambience of best infrastructure of the campus. I assure you that we will greet you with great enthusiasm. You may spend some time visiting our digitized library, which provides access to Bloomberg terminals, or join your favorite faculty for a cup of coffee or tea. But I think in life, when you graduate today, make sure that you make it a point in your life to see sunrise and sunsets once in a while. I was in a class a few days back, and I asked the students, when they have seen the sunset or sunrise, I don't think I got the response that for 3 or 4 years they have not seen the sunrise or sunset. Just make it a point to do that. And when you feel lost in the entangled web of challenges, know the way out of it is simple. Speak to your family, friends, and teachers. Don't forget your teachers. Speak to them. Well, do good things and make sure you create a legacy, and one day you can say with pride that you did extraordinary things. Always remember, the Bengaluru campus is yours, the university is yours, and it will always be yours. God bless you all, farewell and all the best. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं to all of you.
Thank you for the insightful and motivating words, sir. We are sure that they will act as a driving force for the graduating batch. I would now like to request Deputy Director Dr. Narayani Ramachandran to give a roundup for the year 2022-23 of the Bengaluru campus.
A pleasant good morning to one and all here. Welcome to the graduation ceremony 2023 of NMIMS Bengaluru campus. It's my pleasure to welcome all the dignitaries on this auspicious occasion. I welcome the nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, Sri Shailesh Patel, Distinguished Chief Guest, Mr. Venkatraman SB, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, and Mr. Ashish Dabdadar, Additional Registrar, graduating batch students, parents, and relatives, press, faculty, and staff colleagues to this graduation ceremony 2023. A school is building with 4 walls with tomorrow inside, says Lon Waters. NMIMS Bengaluru is a testimony to his words. It has, during its 15 years of its existence, established itself as one of the pioneering educational institutions committed to provide a positive and supportive learning environment. Since its inception in 2008, the institute has been playing a pivotal role in higher education by equipping our students with the skills necessary to be adaptable and successful professionals in this gig economy. I am presenting a brief report of the roundup of the year 2022-23. The MBA program is now in its 13th year, with 11 cohorts having graduated. A total of 191 graduates from the 12th cohort of MBA program, the 26th and 27th batch of PGDM executive, and the second batch of postgraduate diploma in data science and analytics batch are graduating today. In the MBA program, we have been consistent with 100% placement for the 12th year in succession. NMIMS Bengaluru has reached a new milestone in its campus ranking and recognition. We are glad to announce that we emerged as ranked number 1 in the top B schools and the private universities category in Karnataka by Open Magazine. Business Today magazine ranked NMIMS Bengaluru as 3rd in the city-wise category and 7th in South Zone category and awarded an overall rank of 32 in India. Our campus was awarded a rating of A++ by Business India magazine. Our strength lies in strengthening our own common humanity in the diversity of our cultures and in our shared experiences, said Kofi Annan. In line with this year we collaborated with various global universities in their esteemed programs to increase our international linkages. Let me list few significant ones here. 3 of our students, Vishwanathan, Shadul and Vasu Goel, attended a student exchange program in France. An international partnership collaboration agreement between Arizona State University and NMIMS were signed during this year. We hosted a leadership immersion program in the area of inclusive education along with common purpose for students from University of Dundee and University of Brunel, UK, along with our students. We hosted a delegation from the University of Applied Sciences and Engineering, Constance, Germany, in the month of September 2022. In January 2023, a delegation from 6 best business schools in Europe and North America, including Brandeis International Business School, American University Howard School of Business, Santa Clara University, and Imperial College London, INSEAD, paid us a visit for future collaboration in the area of research and academics. A consortium of US universities from law background, led by Boston University, held an insightful discussion on networking strategies for a global practitioner at our campus, NMIMS Bengaluru. Moving on to faculty research contribution, our faculty members have published their research articles in ABDC listing in both A, B, and C categories at national and international journals of repute. Some of the faculty members have been published regularly in newspapers of repute, Economic Times, HR World, Business Line on campus, as well as in moneycontrol.com. Dr. Aparna, Associate Professor, Quantitative Analytics, published an article in the area of financial development and economic growth. Dr. Barnabas, Professor Marketing, published his research article on cycling to work, effective reaction towards word-of-mouth intention on social networking sites. Dr. Neha Chabra Roy, Associate Professor Finance, jointly with Dr. Srilekha, Associate Professor HROB area, published 3 research papers on cyber frauds and financial crime. One of their papers is published in the ABDC listing A category journal, which is a commendable achievement. Dr. Neha Chabra Roy, Associate Professor Finance, published a paper on hydropower sustainability assessment. Dr. Shashi Ramakrishna, Professor of Economics, published a paper on George Gunton's divergent view on origin of great divergence. Apart from research, our faculty has other significant achievements too. Dr. Deepak Sharma, Associate Professor in HR area, published many articles in Economic Times throughout the year. Some topics include sexual harassment in the workplace, employee engagement, leadership, and organizational development. Dr. Narayani and Dr. Sridarshan Kaundinya have been recognized as CGMA Academic Championship by Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, London. She also recognized by CFA Research Institute as an outstanding faculty mentor for the consecutive 4th year. Dr. Barnabas has won the Best Case Study title in the IMA ICRC Case Writing Competition 2022. Dr. Narayani and Dr. Gangu Naidu Mandala got their patents in the area of implementing financial incentives to improve employee performance in banks. This academic year, SBM faculty members were actively involved in offering management development programs on bank assurance, personal financial planning, wealth management, customer experience, relationship management, leadership, and goal setting. Our clientele includes PNB MetLife, ICICI, Integrace, Cipla, Bank of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Bank, Tripura Gramin Bank, and Dakshin Bihar Gramin Bank. Mr. Rupesh, our IT lab assistant, has been successfully completed the certificate course offered by IBM and Google. He also got Bloomberg Market Concept Certificate. Our students have been actively participating in various competitions organized by business schools throughout the country. They have made us proud by bringing in more and more laurels to the campus consistently. Some notable achievements of our students are worth mentioning here. Harsh Mehta, Uday Maheshwari, and Pranjal Singh won their coveted positions in the top 100 by Unstopped Competitor iLeaders 2023. The results released yesterday, as they had won multiple competition, I think 50+ competition in the area of private equity, valuation, equity research, M&A, and business analysis. Pranjal Singh, Disha Patel, and Disha Agarbal have won the competition organized by IIT Kanpur. In the Stock It Up competition organized by IIM Bangalore, Harsh and Budai were the first runner-up. Again, Harsh and Pranjal were the first runner-up in the competition organized by IIM Amritsar. Harsh and Niranjan won the competition organized by IIM Raipur again. Pranjal Singh and Disha Patel were the second runner-up in the contest organized by IIM Calcutta. Karthik Aneja and Yashika Kha have secured first position in the competition, namely Hackathon 3 and E-Pick, the elevator pitch hosted by IIM Sambalpur, and secured their first position in two different competitions hosted by IIM Sambalpur and IIT Hyderabad. They've also stood first in Market Crash Saga and third in Consultrex organized by NMIMS Mumbai campus. They secured the first position in Adomania hosted by BJTI Mumbai. Vivek Dingra, along with his teammates, won multiple competitions and won first prize in Oxide Season 1 national level position, national level second runner-up in Venture Capitalist Case Study and study competition conducted by ISB, and published articles in Ecofinity on Evergrande crisis, Sri Lankan crisis and automobile industry analysis. Prahad Dubey and Kunjan Singhal won the policy case competition organized by IIT Roorkee and national winner at Case 2 organized by IIT Delhi. Karthik Aneja and Yashika Kha are the national finalists of the competition hosted by IIM Lucknow, IIM Sambalpur and IIM Kashipur. They also were the third runner-up in the competition hosted by IIM Lucknow. Apart from the competitions, students of our public relations cell organized the 10th edition of TEDx NMIMS Bengaluru. The theme of this edition was Unfold the Manifold. The talented speakers from various domains share their ideologies and perspectives. Some of the speakers were Madhurima Agarwal, country head of Microsoft Startups, Dr. John Ebenezer, Padma Shri awardee, orthopedic surgeon, Pallavi Parekh, founder and CEO of Angender, Dr. Zulfia Sheikh, founder and director of Bangalore School of Speech and Drama, Dr. Bindu Hari, vice chairperson of National Public School, and Dr. P.G. Divaha, distinguished scientist from ISRO. NMIMS provides the students a holistic learning opportunity beyond the classroom through various activities organized by its 11 clubs and 6 committees. Lakshya, the sports arm of NMIMS, conducted outdoor games like golf, futsal, dodgeball, and tic-tac-toe, and they also conducted Fanathon, a stress-buster event, and a yoga session in association with Yoga Bharati on International Yoga Day. A one-day workshop on education to entrepreneurship journey was conducted on 27th August in collaboration with NGO Talim Wo Tarbiyat to enable the students to convert their business ideas into successful startups. Mr. Adil Jainubul, Chairman of the Quality Council of India and Chairman Network of 18 Group, was the chief guest for the event. Mudra, the Finance Club of NMIMS Bengaluru, collaborated with Kushal, venture capital backed startup, and had an in-depth conversation with Soumya Bajaj, who works at the World Bank in Washington, D.C. Valeram, an equity research competition held by the club, received 22,000 impressions, and they also hosted Zerodha Varsity Opportunity and NISM Campus Championship Program. The flagship event of Equinox, called eSummit 2022, was organized to assist our students in expanding their knowledge and grasping the real-life experience of some of the renowned entrepreneurs of India, along with success stories of startup world. Noesis, the Literary and Photography Club, organized the contest on the 27th and 28th of January, apart from producing the yearbook for this graduating batch. Nirando, the Operation Club, hosted Empire State Inter-College Simulation Games to assess the students' business acumen and operational skills. The Cultural Committee, Rang, welcomed the new students of the institutions and encouraged their creative impulses to gain confidence and pursue their interest. The committee hosted Friendship Day, Halloween, Christmas, Republic Day, Independence Day, and celebrated Holi, Diwali, and New Year with their enthralling cultural performances. HR Hriday, the HR Club, conducted a top talent social media campaigns on the importance of mental health and mentorship programs. The club also conducted a case study competition, DESIP HR, during the Management Fest. Udayam, the Social Responsibility Committee of NMIMS Bengaluru, organized events like Walkathon, the Joy of Giving Week with an NGO to donate and raise funds for We Care activity. The club organized its flagship event, Vihan, aimed to provide a platform for corporate CSR cells and NGOs to discuss pressing issues, explore possible solutions, and perhaps collaborate for mutual benefit and betterment of society. Insignia, the Alumni Club Committee of NMIMS Bengaluru, organized a grand alumni meet at Delhi as well as at Bengaluru and witnessed the turnaround of huge number of alumni visiting the campus. There were various events and a panel discussion, and it was moderated by our alumni, Mr. Prithvi Kotagiri, Director Strategy at MediaCom. War of Divisions were organized by Pramash, the Strategy and Consulting Club. It was an ice-breaking session for the batch to collaborate and work in teams. Anvation, the research club of NMIMS Bengaluru, wrote articles on trending topics like indirect effects of corruption, declining individual tax morale due to corruption experience, inbound marketing versus hybrid marketing. Does music therapy help depression? Digital taxation in India, to name a few. The club presented research diaries of companies like Tata Elxsi, HDFC AMC, and Jubilant Foodworks. Toastmasters International Club has organized several successful events with external evaluators and the area director of Toastmasters. A hybrid Toastmaster contest with NMIMS participants, the corporate sector, and area directors from different parts of Bengaluru was a grand success. Few students have completed level 1 of Toastmasters International Education Program in record time. The PR cell conducted buddy meets and arranged press releases for various college events. The academic committee conducted guest lectures, NDLI sessions, live projects, and social media campaigns for the campus. Intuito, the analytics club, organized hackathon, Ace the Case, interactive session with check, treasure hunt, case study, and decoding of Excel, R, Tableau workshop. They also conducted intercollegiate competition with 230 plus participants from top business schools. The Management Fest, Influence, it was conducted by NMIMS Bengaluru team in the month of January 2023. The theme of the event was gig economy. All the clubs invited various industry professionals to share their valuable insights. Some of the industry executives came from EY, IBM, TEDx, and gave their perspectives on gig economy during the event. They explained the cost effectiveness of operating in the gig economy and how it benefits workers in terms of flexibility and modest pay. To summarize this year, NMIMS Bengaluru has shown remarkable progress in campus placement, competition won by students, a series of extracurricular and co-curricular activities through clubs and committees, your new international collaborations, research publications by faculty, and several other achievements by faculty and staff members. We would like to place on record our sincere gratitude for all the generous support from our SVKM Trust and boundless guidance from NMIMS University dignitaries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We're sure the legacy made by the seniors and the faculty will continue and achieve greater heights. I now request Dr. Malika Srivastava, Associate Professor, to present the list of graduating candidates to the Honorable Vice Chancellor. I also request nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, Shri Shailesh Patel, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, Deputy Director, Dr. Narayani Ramachandran, to come forward for the handing over of MBA degree to the graduating students.
nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, I present unto you these candidates, including the candidates in absentia who have been certified after the examination to be duly qualified to receive the MBA. I would now request all the graduating participants of MBA 2021-23 to come forward and receive their degrees. Akansha Kumari. Abhay Gupta. Akash Mangala. Akash R. Amber Nagori. Amisha Makrani. Amulya Garg. Anvesha Padhi. Aritra Sanigrahi. Aryan Goel. Bhavya Gangar. Gunjan Sangal. Harsh Mehta. Ishika Khandelwal. Krish Arora. Mansi Vasani. Rehat Kaur Madan. Ritik Batla. Ruhi Uppal. Shardul Ghag. Shikhar Shankar. Okay. Shreya Sharma. सौम्यजीत मुखर्जी, स्वप्निल देसाई, विनीता खंबे, महक मित्तल, अक्षय जैन, अपूर्वा दोषी, गणेश जुजुरू, हनीशा भगलाल, हरवीन कौर भाटिया, हुसैन कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, इशिता मकर, जेसिका डैंग, कार्तिक वी, कार्तिक अनेजा, किंजल गांधी, किंजल मोदी, लक्ष्य बंसल, लोकेश चिलुकुरी, महर्षि दत्ता, सुमित शर्मा, प्रार्थना अमर, राम्या रामकृष्णन, सागर नयन, सार्थक जैन, तान्या गांधी, वंशिका गर्ग, विश्वनाथ जियार, विवेक ढींगरा, अभिषेक जोशी, come from this side. Go, go. अभिषेक धर्मराजन, आकाश जेठी, आक्षी छाबड़ा, अनिमेश श्रीवास्तव, अंशुमान गोपी, अनुष्का चौहान, आशा किरण जेना, दीपक बागरी, हरि गोविंद पीएम, हेत जसानी, मलाबिका डे, निखिल आनंद, निषाद गुप्ता, नूपुर मिश्रा, प्रतीक लुजाले, प्रत्युष कुमार रथ, ऋषभ जैन, श्रेया अत्री, सिमरन मित्तल, श्रीजनी विश्वास, तान्या अग्रवाल, उदित गुप्ता, विकास साई, मोहक श्रीवास्तव, Nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, I present unto you these candidates, including the candidates in absentia, who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the diploma in the PGDM Executive. Now I would request the graduating participants of PGDM Executive to come forward and receive their degrees. Megha Prakash, Naman Srivastav, Pallavi Ganala, Nikhil Vetit, Akash Dalmia, Ranjini Nagesh, Sanjit Bhaumik, Radhika Tamanna Giri, Abhijit Kar, Nidhi Dubey, Meghna Hassan, Meghna Hassan, Rajat Jain, Ayushi Dubey, Anand Vasupalli, Nikhil Tore, Shriti Bhatt, Abhijit Roy, Vikas Hiremat, Ishita Agarwal, Yechilra Vikram, Shrikant Rajkumar, Arya Chandan, Mihir Mishra, Abhijit Somni, Sameer Athanikar, Abraham Vivek Luke, Nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, I present unto you these candidates, including the candidates in absentia who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the diploma in PGD DSA. Debatanu Bishwas, Philip Joseph, Aditi Verma, Sumit Sadhwani, Thank you everyone. Congratulations to all the participating graduates.
Now I request Deputy Director Dr. Narayani Ramachandran to announce the Best Student and Merit Awards and scholarships to the graduating cohorts of Bengaluru campus and also to give away the Best Faculty and Staff Awards. I now invite Honorable Chief Guest Mr. Venkatraman SV to present the medals to the top ranking students. I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Ramesh Bhatt to join him on stage.
I take great pleasure in announcing the rank holders list. First rank of MBA program goes to Hussain Contractor. The second rank of MBA program goes to Karthik Aneja. The first rank of Postgraduate Diploma in Management for Executives, Batch 26, goes to Naman Srivastav. The first rank for the Postgraduate Diploma in Management for Executive, Batch 27, goes to Shruti Bhatt. The first rank of Postgraduate Diploma in Data Science and Analytics for Executors, Batch 2, goes to Debantu Biswas. The first rank of the Postgraduate Diploma in Data Science and Analytics for Executive Batch 2 goes to Philip Joseph. There are two students who share the first rank. Let me take the pleasure of announcing the students' name who secured a position in their Dean's List of School of Business Management, MBA program, Bengaluru campus. Hussain Contractor. Karthik Aneja. Maharishi Datta. Vivek Dingra. Harsh Mehta. Akash Jete. Harveen Bhatia. Dean's List for Postgraduate Diploma in Management for Executives, Naman Srivatsa and Nikhil Beta. Akash Jyoti, next to Harveen. Harveen. Dean's List for Postgraduate Diploma, Naman Srivatsa and Nikhil Beta. Dean's List and PGDM Batch 27, Shruti Bhatt and Ishita Agarwal. Dean's List for Data Science, Debantu Biswas and Philip Joseph. Now, much awaited Best Student of the Year for MBA program goes to Karthik Aneja. And Achievers Excellence Award goes to Vivek Dingra. We celebrate the achievements of our faculty members and staff members. The award for the best teaching excellence goes to Dr. A. Aparna. Award for the best researcher goes to Dr. Neha Chabra Rai and Dr. Srilekha. The Best Non-Teaching Staff Award goes to Mr. Niranjan M. and Mr. Rajesh S. Thank you.
I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, to administer the oath on all who are present and have been permitted to remain absent. I request all students to please raise for oath and keep standing till the degree is conferred.
By the virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Management of SVKM's NMIMS as Vice Chancellor, I hereby declare all of you who are present and those who are permitted to remain absent are admitted to the respective degrees. I hereby charge you to uphold the dignity and the value of the degree awarded to you by this university in your life and profession. I request nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, Shri Shailesh Patel ji, to confer the degrees.
I confirm the degree.
You have to bow.
All the graduating students are requested to keep standing, bow to accept the diploma degree, and in a collective manner say aye.
I now request in charge registrar to present the register of graduates to the nominee of the Honorable Chancellor for his signature. Please be seated.
It is my privilege to introduce our honorable chief guest for the day, Mr. Venkatraman SV. Venkatraman SV is the Managing Director for Bengaluru Service Center in ANZ Banking Group. In his current role, apart from leading the service center operations, he has been very closely involved in ANZ Banking Group's successful foray into automation, starting with RPA over 5 years ago. Further to the large-scale implementation of human action mimicking automation solutions, he has driven the use of emergent technologies, including AI, ML, and OCR, to automate human judgment-oriented processes in complex products of trade finance and home lending. He is a long-time banker, and prior to this role, he was the COO, Institutional Operations, Service Centers in ANZ. In this role, he managed the operations for institutional banking division for ANZ across 30+ countries, being delivered through the service centers in Bangalore, Manila, and Chengdu. Earlier, he was the Chief Operating Officer for ANZ Banking Group, Mumbai, where he helped set ANZ Banking Group presence in India, and his responsibilities included building and running the enablement functions of operations, technology, legal, marketing, and communications for the bank. He has also held leadership positions in various organizations, including COO at Aditya Birla, Minax, and as Vice President, Banking and Financial Services. Pirot Systems, now part of NTT Date. He started his banking career with ANZ Grindlays Bank, holding various front office positions in the global market function. He is passionate about diversity and has played a significant role in bringing this culture to the workplace. He is a BTech Honours graduate from IIT Kharagpur and a post-graduation in management from IIM Ahmedabad. I now request the nominee of the Chancellor, Shri Shailesh Patel, to formally invite Mr. Venkatraman to deliver the graduation ceremony address.
I invite Mr. Venkatraman to deliver the graduation ceremony address. Thank you.
So let me start with a story and then I'll revert to my formal address. Have you all heard about the streetlight effect? You might have. So the story goes like this. It was past midnight and a policeman was on his beat. He saw a drunk searching for his car keys under the streetlight, as drunks usually do, very frantically. The cop asked the drunk, what was he looking for? The drunk said he had lost his car keys and was hunting for them. In a bid to help, the policeman also started to look for the keys. After a few minutes of fruitless searching, the cop asked the drunk, are you sure you dropped the keys here? No, I dropped them across the street, said the drunk. Then why are you searching here? Asked the policeman. Well, this is the part of the street that has a street light, replied the drunk. Many of us look for exotic sources for knowledge, while common sense can do the work in most cases. The others refuse to dig deep and rarely go beyond what is obvious. We will come back to this at the end of my address. Now for my formal address. Thank you, all the freshly minted MBAs. And this, you come first today because this is your day. And of course, all the parents that are here. I must tell you as a fellow parent, the work is not done yet, my friends. It will keep happening. And now for all the dignitaries on the stage, Shailesh Bhai Patel and Professor Ramesh Bhatt and the two professors from the esteemed institute. A special respect to Professor Ramesh Bhatt, who I sort of met last 30 years ago when I graduated like this from Ahmedabad. I must tell you guys, he has not changed at all. I have changed a lot in several kilos and inches. I was half scared that he might ask me the difference between current liabilities and current assets. Welcome and to all of you, and thank you for inviting me here. And firstly, congratulations to all the new graduates. The MBA is a phenomenal experience, isn't it? I have an MBA, and perhaps surprisingly, it doesn't stand for more bad advice or even mediocre but arrogant. IIM Ahmedabad is the place where I learned Excel spreadsheeting and MS PowerPoint in the most expensive way possible. I was just joking, sir. It is where I learned to use phrases like competitive advantage, cash cow, paradigm shift, etc., with a completely straight face. It's also the place where I learned to, importantly, nod very, very seriously, even if I knew nothing about what the other person was saying. But I'm not here to tell you what you already know about the MBA today. My job here today is to distill what I have learned over my career of 30 plus years, in the hope that it will equip you as you move through your long and successful, I'm sure successful careers and working life. But excelling professionally is not all that you will look for as you lead a fulfilling life. The years ahead are going to be vital in exploring and uncovering your shadow self. What is the shadow self, you ask? The shadow self is a part of you that has remained in the shadows, but under the right circumstances can emerge and make your life richer and more vibrant for it. When you have a closed door, a captive audience, and the chief guest title, what do? You give advice. That's what I'm going to do today. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 principles. The principles that have cultivated and relied on time and time again. Some of them are straightforward, some need explanation, and a few you will remember, most you will forget. As many of you may have already forgotten a lot of what you learned in the past 2 years, now that the exams are over. But there have been principles that I have returned to over the course of my career several times. So let's jump into them. Principle 1, lean into differentness. It is that term, differentness, that I really like. It's a beautiful term. Gandhi said, be the change you want to be, but if you don't know the change that you want to see, help someone who needs things to change so that they may be seen as someone driving a change. What do I mean? Be an ally. True appreciation for diversity comes this way. Take your empowerment, which you all have, and empower others. Make a difference, or let other people show their differentness. Be it through contributing to the company's corporate social responsibilities, and all firms have that now, or simply trying to develop something that makes your team more accessible, speak out and get involved. Even if it seems to you that no one's listening, be assured there is someone out there noticing you. The world is looking to learn from the Gen Z that you represent. Number 2, be comfortable with rerouting where there is traffic. And I don't mean the rerouting that Google Maps does in crowded city like Bangalore. Your ability as a manager relies heavily on how you respond to fast evolving situations that are often beyond your control. What you can control is your response. March 23rd, March 24th, 2020, does the date sound familiar? I'm sure it does. We all remember that date. Overnight, we had to move all our 7,500 staff to work from home. Rapid change, fast adaptation, solving problems on the go, call it whatever, it had to be done. One of the most endearing images I have of that day is 2 of our people packing their own desktops and carrying them down our office building without even waiting for the packers to come. They rerouted. Those who reroute when obstacles appear get the job done well and with the least chances of delay and inaccuracies. Sometimes it's okay to get only 8 out of 10 right, as long as you do those 8 fast enough. Number 3, sometimes maps just don't work. Be comfortable directing yourself. Sometimes you'll not have a template or a protocol or a list of instructions that you can use. No one else does too. Take heart from that. You will have to create it yourself. In 2010-11, when we set up ANZ's new branch in India, there was very limited institutional knowledge of setting up a new branch in a new country in the bank. The bank had not done it for over 2 decades. It required us to create our own frameworks, try, test and learn, and create artifacts from scratch. No Control-C, Control-V, my friends. Once again, being mostly right with enough flexibility to change as if things do not evolve the way you thought it would is okay. Number 4, practice saying, I don't know. Today is a day that marks your success, and I want to acknowledge that. You are already among the most successful people of your age. But that doesn't mean most of you haven't tasted failure or will not encounter it ever. Whether you have or haven't, failure will come. And I'm here to tell you that most bosses, companies will tolerate failure. A key way to reduce the scale of failure is to start practicing saying, I don't know, when you really don't know what is to be done. It is okay not to know. If you don't know what you need to do, you need to learn to find out how to find out your answers. That's a different matter, but it is okay to say, I don't know. If I had the physique of Ranveer Singh, I would have removed my shirt and shown you the bruises on my back due to failures I have met in my career. How I wish I had worked on my six-pack abs. The other phrase to remember is, if you are to fail, do fail fast. Principle number 5, relationships and networks are vital. You can be a person that can cite trivia on any subject at the drop of a hat, who knows the furthest extents of corporate knowledge. You can be highly experienced, worked for years in different parts of a company. Maybe you did all the right things, said all the right things, but all that becomes insignificant if you don't have what I term as relationship capital. If you haven't built relationship with people in your immediate teams, immediate organization, immediate circle of friends, and you are not met and worked with people and their differentness, you will not get that coveted leadership position. Those who lead without that relationship capital are those who will always struggle to maintain their position as leaders. And for building leadership capital, you will need to build meaningful relationships. The question is, how do you build a relationship that is meaningful? Millions of dollars have gone into building social media to try and convince us that that is the best way to build and sustain relationships. In the age of Instagram and TikTok, there is a tendency and pressure to show the best versions of yourselves, and that is okay. But when you look up from your 2D screens and have to build three-dimensional real-life relationships with real people, they need to have depth. That's the third dimension. They need to have that third dimension of depth. And that depth can sometimes come from sharing what I call as vulnerability. I'm not advocating doing this all the time or with everyone needlessly, but sometimes being honest about a time when something didn't go your way or when something hurt you is a healthy way to tell the other person that you are honest and have solid integrity. And while I'm talking about honesty and integrity, I should say that they need to be the cornerstones of your management practice. Spend time thinking about what honesty and integrity means to you as values, because that is a catalyst to success. Stay with me here. We have reached almost the halfway mark. Number 6, establish your value and purposes. They may change and evolve over time, and that's okay, but clarifying your values and your purpose, why do you exist, both as a company or as an individual that you work for the company, as a company, into the company, will streamline your decision making. Once you know your values, they form the guardrails, and you only need to ask, am I making the decision that is consistent with my values? The more consistently we live with our values, the more content we are likely to be. Principle 7, be empathetic. An article published recently by Harvard Business Review established that empathy is a human attribute that cannot be replaced by AI. Professor Bhatt told us about a few other things that AI cannot do, but empathy is clearly not in the scope for AI. Empathy is neither a grand philosophical concept nor an innate sentimentality that only some people can possess. Empathy is a skill, and it can be worked on intellectually. It can be practiced cognitively. Being empathetic is being intelligent. So when someone shares their differentness with you, when they are vulnerable with you, and please ensure you are empathetic. You might not be able to help. You might not even be in a position to help. Maybe you don't even want to help, but be empathetic. Create a safe place for people to share. At ANZ, our systems of allies, confidentiality, and focus on empathetic leadership attempts to do just that. That means listening actively to others, knowing that you may not ever fully understand what they are going through, and conveying to them that you're not going to misappropriate or misuse what they tell you. This sometimes in practice looks like trying to imagine walking in their shoes. Sometimes in practice, it can look like thinking carefully before responding to something or someone, thinking of how you will respond to them, the words you are going to use, etc. When it comes to decision making, you will find that empathy will always yield better results than mere fact-based decisions. As an example, in the Australian banking markets, all the major banks have closed branches in the last few years that are not profitable. In the process, several people who are used to get their banking work done by visiting branches were impacted. Empathetic handling of the difficult situation rather than a pure spreadsheet-based approach resulted in ANZ coming up with many more smart ideas to make sure that the same people get the kind of banking experience that they look for. Principle 8. The how matters more than the what. Not every person you manage is going to be a high performer in the same way. Some will be talented but lack consistency and rigor. It can be tempting to give our attention to the most talented, but train yourself to see the high performers can also be those who work steadily and consistently to take you across to the finishing line. Many years ago, when I was running the markets business for the bank in India, I had two top performers, both brilliant but both lone wolves, who liked to work by themselves and their competitive nature knew no limits. I had to physically sit in between them to ensure they don't come to blows. The operations teams were scared to deal with them. Their outcomes were strong, but they were definitely not team players. I also had a few who were high performers, not necessarily the topmost in terms of revenues, but worked well as a team, were friendly and approachable, and the support staff loved them. Today, the second group is the one that is occupying leading positions, delivering to meet a purpose through teamwork, collaboration, and values means a lot more than just busting your number targets at any cost. Principle 9. Your classmates are rarely as successful as you think they are. Instagram's insecurity, I'm told, is a very real thing. And how can it not be? When we are sweating at work while someone's vacationing in Goa, those beaches and the pina coladas can seem very unfair to us. Actually, that's an easy one. Let's think of an example of a more insidious, less overt kind of insecurity triggers. You are at home, tired after a long day of work, tired after supporting other people's differentness, building relationships, rerouting your careful value-based decision making, and you are cooking food. Everyone has to. Only to see on Instagram that your classmate is off eating at Lupa or any other top restaurant. I'm told Lupa is the most happening restaurant in the city at this moment. What happens to you? The trick is to ground yourself in reality and remember that these photos are designed to trigger dopamine or cortisol, take your pick, in your brain. Number 10, boring is good. Moments of creativity, flashes of brilliance, we all have them. And they are good moments to have. And they should be nurtured and enjoyed. But they are just that, flashes, things that will leave you soon. If a recipe to a fancy dish involves stirring for 10 minutes and then adding pepper at the end, you can't skip straight to the pepper. You need to do the stirring. It will be boring and it will be dull, and you would rather take a shortcut. But if you're not going to do the process, the benefits of those flashes of brilliance will not last. Regular, consistent work is more important than those flashes of brilliance. As the coach for the Swedish ice hockey player, Nicholas Lidstrom, said, being a good pro, and this person is definitely a pro, is doing the same simple things over and over again. A lot of really good players are bored to death with the process, but he has found a way to enjoy it. To fuel the energy, you need to apply it to these principles, or if you found them all rubbish, or go ahead and rewrite them. Having a well-rounded personal life really helps. So for that, here are some things I tell to my daughters as they roll their eyes at me. Some of you laughed a little too hard there, but that's okay. But I will continue to insist on telling them this for the rest of my life. Number 1, read. When I say read, I don't mean you read the heaviest and the most important things. Read fun and funny things. Poetry, news, graphic novels, whatever. But read because reading is the key to cultivating a sustained receptiveness in our brains. Manage your personal finances attentively. I like what the book Psychology of Money says. Save for no reason. Skip the fancy frappuccinos and stick to regular filter coffee. The money that you save will come in handy when you want to travel or when you need a new phone that has 6 cameras and a billion megapixels. More importantly, the proverbial rainy day, make no mistakes, will come. Number 3 is presentation matters. So the choice between distressed jeans and regular ones is a real one. You don't need to have a Ferragamo tie or a Rolex watch, they are nice though. But being dressed well is empowering and it tells the world that you value yourself. Develop good habits and routines. This includes the basics like brushing, and I see parents nodding to me, bathing and eating right. I see, but also other routines that we keep less time for. Self-care can come in many ways. Going to the gym, spending quality time with loved ones, doing puzzles, baking, doesn't matter what it is, but do and take care of your mind and body. You're going to need both of them all through your life. So build good routines. Sometimes a routine can feel like a rut, but there is a difference between the two. A rut is fundamentally unproductive and uncreative, doing the same thing over and over even if it doesn't bring you joy or fulfillment. A routine is an arrangement of habits that you perform to improve yourself and take care of yourself. Always keep learning. This is one I wished my daughters didn't take quite so literally, because they have both insisted on pursuing seemingly interminable and unending PhDs. But I still do advocate an openness towards learning. Learning doesn't have to happen in the office or a classroom. In the coming years, you will see that it happens suddenly and all at once over a chai or a samosa. I'd like to close by returning to the streetlight effect. Those of you who have forgotten, please try to remember. It is too easy to invest only where there is light, and also too easy to ignore what's in the dark. And I think it's safe to say that even as we become the most knowledgeable and most empowered that humankind has ever been, so much of our collective existence lies beyond the reach in the darkness. Too many people are forced to live in the darkness. So use your education, use your good fortune, and use your immense talent to shine light in the black, to lift darkness so that we can all see. Because only if you build more street lights can all of us see past the darkness. I wish you all a wonderful and wildly successful life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm pretty sure our graduates here will absorb these key learnings and implement them in their upcoming future. We would like to thank the nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, Shri Shailesh Patel, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Venkataraman SV, Deputy Director, Dr. Naraini Ramachandran, and Dr. Ashish Daptardar, Additional Registrar, for gracing us with your presence in the graduation ceremony. We would also like to thank the faculty, the students, the parents, and the NMIMS staff for this ceremony.
I now request Dr. Ashish Daptardar, Additional Registrar, to initiate the closure of the graduation ceremony.
I request Shri Shailesh Patel, nominee of Honorable Chancellor, also Chairman of Local Managing Committee of NMIMS Bengaluru, to declare graduation ceremony 2023 closed.
Declare the graduation ceremony 2023 of the NMIMS Bangalore campus closed. Thank you.
May I request everyone to rise for the national anthem?
All the students are now requested to remain seated while the academic procession will recede. Students are requested to keep standing.